Hey everyone, I'm MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure to hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about Dr. Disrespect once again. So, I highly recommend you guys go and check out my previous video that I did with Darnell and Drunken Emerald Era when the allegations first came out. So for anyone who's been living under a rock, I'll just repeat them again because we have updated the situation now as of today at the time of recording this video. So basically, long story short, he got really popular on Twitch. He was one of the most viewed people on Twitch before people like Kaisenet and Amaranth. He was just an insanely popular streamer. Then, all of a sudden, one day, you know, you have that, like, Twitch Twitter account where it's like, it announces people are banned. It announces he's banned. He goes on YouTube, because he has a YouTube channel, and people were asking him, like, hey, yo, like, dog, you're banned. Like, what the fuck's going on? He's like, I can't talk about it. Then there was, like, a follow-up stream that same year, and he's like, I got some lawyers involved. And people knew it was serious at that point. Then, well, nothing else happened. Everything kind of got swept under the rug. For the most part, people kind of just, like, forgot about it. Then, after that, you know, he had said, yeah, the settlement with Twitch is over. I won my case. People were like, okay, let's move on. And then, all of a sudden, over this past weekend, literally over this past weekend, there was a person that basically kind of, like, dropped the reason why he was allegedly, you know, let go from Twitch, obviously until today, right? This person said, this person is a troom, I'll just, a dear person, right? This person said that he was sending stuff to minors explicitly, okay? That was the allegation at the time, right?
But it's just an allegation. There's no evidence of any kind, just the allegation drop.
Yeah, at that moment in time. Then, after that, he actually made a follow-up tweet to that. We read it yesterday. Just go check out the video. You guys can go just watch that. We actually read it on the video itself. So then, the quartering said that he had actually been given information about what really happened. And he was going to later on talk about it today. Then, around the same time, the game company he had founded. What's really weird about this situation is the game company he had founded, I actually don't know why people kind of railed on them the way they did, because they actually worded their statement in a way other companies don't. They literally said, we assumed his innocence. That means they thought he was in the right.
Innocent to proven guilty.
And then a whole bunch of people, you know, and I like these people, I really do, but this company, they didn't do anything wrong. The person literally said, we thought he was in the right. We thought he was a good dude. We assumed his innocence, and then they found out more stuff, and they obviously let him go. So then, after all that happened, you have the situation finally unfold, and then we now have the tweets. So, now, I know what people are going to say. Don't worry, I already know it too. So he actually edited this, because on Twitter now, if you pay or you're a blue checkmark, you can edit your post now, okay? So I want people to understand, where he says the part of individual, that earlier said minor.
Right there.
And now it says individual minor. Back when I read this earlier today, this has been edited about 4 times. I remember, it first came out, I read it, it said minor. Second time, individual. Third time, minor. Now we're back to this, right? He's edited this about 3 times so far. And then there's a screenshot, obviously, where he says, you know, individual minor and minor right there, obviously. That way you could tell it's edited. So then there's this other piece of context that a lot of people didn't go over. So we're going to read his actual edited response right here. All right, so he says, the Twitch ban. Hello, I'd like to make a quick statement. Let's cut the fucking bullshit. As you know, there's no filter with me. I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything that I can be upfront about. And I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here now. First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community, as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio. A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday with Midnight Society, and we made the painful decision to collectively have me step down. Yeah, like they literally said we thought he was a good guy. Our team is full of incredibly talented and good people that have high career ambitions and families, and I never want to jeopardize the culture we have carefully crafted. Everyone has been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years. Now that former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, I can now tell you my side of the story regarding the ban. And this is the part everyone's going to mostly remember when we go over. Were the Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were the real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Nothing illegal happened. No pictures were shared. No crimes were committed. I never even met the individual. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and that case was resolved by a settlement. Let me be clear. It was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges have ever been brought against me. Now, from a moral standpoint, I'll absolutely take responsibility. I should have never entertained these conversations to begin with. That's on me. That's on me as an adult, a husband and a father. Keep in mind, he had already got caught cheating on his wife a long time ago as well, okay? It should have never happened. I get it. I'm not perfect, and I'll fucking own my shit. This was stupid. Now, with all this said, don't get it fucking mistaken. I've seen all the remarks and labels being thrown around so loosely. Social media is a destruction zone. I'm no fucking predator or pedo word. Are you kidding me? Anyone that truly knows me fucking knows where I stand on those things with those types of people. F that. That's a different level of disgust that I effing hate even hearing about. Don't be labeling me as the worst of the worst with your exaggerations. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. But I think I've said what I needed to say regarding the ban itself. That's it. That's why Twitch made the decision in 2020. To my team, community, industry friends that have supported me, I apologize. I wish I could have said all this sooner. You guys have always showed me and my family love and support throughout all these years. We love you guys like you can't imagine. I have the fucking best community and circle. If any of this has made you uncomfortable, I get it. You don't have to support me anymore, but just know you have always been greatly appreciated. But trust me when I say this to all my haters that live and breathe social media with zero real life experience. I don't give a F about you. Finally, if you're uncomfortable with this entire statement and think I'm a piece of shit, that's fine, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm not the same guy that made this mistake all those years ago. I'm taking an extended vacation with my family, as mentioned, on stream, and I'm coming back with a heavy weight off my shoulders. They want me to disappear. Yeah, effing right. Okay, so, well, that's all good and dandy, but this is the problem that everyone had, okay? So this right here. So he did actually message the minor, right? The big question that people want to know is, did he know this person was underage? Because the intentions of knowing something versus still doing it intentionally is obviously what you need to really go over when you talk about a situation. But this part right here is really, really weird. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much into the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. What does that even mean?
That means that they were flirting when they were talking to each other. That they probably said things that were slightly sexualized or sexualized.
Yeah.
In a conversation. But I mean,
I think he's using the MSK defense.
I was 16 when we first had like chat rooms and stuff. I'm sorry. I was talking to people who were way older than me, and I was talking about things I probably should not have been talking about, and they definitely should not have been talking about with me at the time. But half the time, they had no idea how young I was.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I'm sorry, there's a lot of young girls who enjoy the attention of older men.
Yes.
And especially if they know that they're never going to meet them, they're never going to do anything about it. It's just like a small fantasy. It's about like stretching your wings. Now, I'm not saying it's the girl's fault, but I'm saying that this all seems like so high school.
So when I first initially read this last part where he said nothing illegal happened, this kind of reads like, oh, just to me personally, this reads like, hey, you know, I didn't actually send this person any pictures or any of that, but does that make it okay? It's like, no, I would have to go like, nah, that's a little too much, because the thing is, when you have conversations with people, because this happened in multiple, because you mentioned messages. I mean, there's multiple messages. I mean, in my life, I'll just say, growing up, I've always been asked what my age is. Everyone growing up, even throughout life, you always get asked what your age is. He literally could have just asked,
Yeah,
what
it's
is
the
your
internet.
age?
Everybody lies, though.
That's true.
Come on.
Yeah.
You've been in a chat room, right? Were you honest?
Yeah, but if you're not sure, you still shouldn't participate in it. I mean,
That's the thing. He
Oh, yeah.
knew the person was a minor,
right,
too.
and-
That's the difference of it. He knew it was a minor.
He was only 35, so, you know, how could he have known any better? No, I mean, as a 35-year-old, like, why the hell are you talking to anybody? But I guess this was 2017, but still,
But so
I don't
do
think
you
the different time counts.
So do you think with the, because right there says, now from a moral standpoint, I absolutely take responsibility. I should have never entertained these conversations to begin with. So do you think that he knew that she was
I mean,
underage? Because it kind of sounds like if he didn't know back then, he should have put, I didn't know she was underage or
He
whatever.
didn't say that. Yeah, he did not. He
Yeah.
didn't say that. So
it makes it seem like he kind of knew that she was underage and that he was flirting with her and stuff like that. So
That's the vibe I'm getting, but he doesn't
I mean,
spell it out. But lawyers have kind of gone over his whole situation, so perhaps he knows exactly how far he can kind of go with his admission.
yeah.
true. Nate, what do you want to say?
Oh, I was gonna say, you know, I mean, he trying to find the right way to word this. I mean, it's good that, you know, he's owning up to it, but that still don't make it right. Two wrongs don't make it right. And it just, you know, FTW in the chat, he just said he also admitted that the conversations got inappropriate. So they got inappropriate, and then he continued. So,
Does it change your mind at all that he was in character at the time?
Oh God, that probably makes it worse.
I mean,
I'm just saying right now.
I mean,
him
EDP
making
was,
this statement makes things look really bad. Just saying.
I mean,
MSK. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say EDP was in character too, and look what happened to him.
Yeah, but he was black and fat and ugly, so he deserves to be in jail, in my opinion, personally.
MSK, you
right.
mentioned that he's
So,
a married guy.
For context, yeah.
Oh, MSK.
Was he
Yes,
married
and
back
he
He
said-
was
then?
caught cheating on his wife
Yeah,
before.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
and this
Quite
was around the
dangerous.
time that he
Yes.
had the infidelity kind of scandal as well,
Yeah.
and kind of took a little break.
Now his wife
Okay.
now gets embarrassed again if she ever sees this.
So now that I'm thinking, maybe when he said I should have never entertained, could have been instead of her age, he probably didn't know her age, that he was married and he should have not done that. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
possible, yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Totally right.
I mean,
Possible.
look, I know there's a lot of problems with grooming. I know that there's been serious predators
It's a
online.
very fine line.
But at the same time, like, if it was nothing more than flirtations, I don't.
But
Maybe it's just because I was 18. I was dating someone who was 30 something. When I was 15 and 16, I flirted with a lot of people. Nothing ever came of it. It was just flirtations.
no one's saying the
not do
girl
that
did anything
anymore?
wrong. No, well, no one. Now this day and age, no, you can't. Not the girl, not the underage girl. Him, the adult. You can't. You can't. You're supposed to shut it down the second you find out or have any kind of inclination.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
person's not old enough.
What I'm getting the vibes from this is this not going on for a while, but like people always give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm not saying anyone's really here, but we know we've been alive for a long time. We know how conversations go. At some point, the topic of hey, how old are you had to have come up. Like, come on, like we know how conversations go. Come on, like it's to say that wouldn't have happened is ludicrous. You know?
Now,
So
Sure.
they're messing
Did
all
that
the
stop
time
the
he did
conversation?
that.
now I do know.
And but that's what I'm saying. That's the key thing. If he knew and so continued, that's bad. But if he didn't
hold
know
on.
and so continued, that's different.
Hold on. I don't know about every state, but I know in Louisiana, I didn't know isn't a good defense because the way it's explained is okay. Yeah, you didn't know. but you're also an adult who knows how to ask questions. You could have asked.
Yeah.
You should have asked. I know a lot of celebrities and like I guess famous people will get that whole, oh, I didn't ask. No, but you knew you probably should have, and you didn't for the sole purpose of saying I didn't know. Not saying this is what he did. There have been many celebrities and famous people who were caught in situations, and they didn't ask to say, "Well, I didn't know." Well, you could have. You knew you should have asked.
Now, I wanted to bring this up really quickly because Leon put out this. This was one of the context images. He says, for context, in case anyone actually cares to read it, rather than jumping at headlines. Oh, I hate wording like this. It's so small. Okay, I'll look at my second monitor.
So tiny.
Okay. Don't. My wife never told me that. She said it's really big. Never. Okay, so this is Subject of Truth, Dr. Disrespect, sent by Portion Mail. I'm sending this to multiple known sources in the gaming news area. I hope this is taken in spirit in which it is intended. I will keep this inbox for 12 hours from now till then. It will be gone forever. Here's what actually happened, but what cannot be said publicly by the Dr. Disrespect camp. There were whispers between a guy and a 17-year-old on Twitch. The age was not known at the time. These were messages in relation to how to scale new channels using tried and testing methods behind the scenes. It was a service that was offered by members of the Dr. Disrespect team under a different brand name. The brand name used could be interpreted many ways. The transcripts were a part of the court proceedings and, as outlined, show no wrongdoing or illegality. The issue on the Twitch side was how some of the messages and brand name used could be interpreted differently, and was interpreted differently by certain members of the Twitch team that had taken a dislike to Dr. Disrespect due to the bathroom incident. You guys remember that if you follow him. The internal feeling was that it would only be a matter of time, in quotations, before they got him on something. This one, however, was way wide of the mark and wasn't what they thought it was. This became the result of a lack of back and forth at Twitch with various people in the let's get him camp and others in the we can't move forward with this camp. His whispers were being monitored because a core group of influential people within Twitch wanted him gone. Which also, this is now that this is the Twitch angle. I'll go before I go to the rest of this. I'll put my cursor right there so I remember where I'm at. So the reason why people say, Twitch is no, Twitch is not the good guy in this. First of all, they knew about. Let's just say this did happen. I'm not saying illegality stuff, right? Allegedly, I'm not saying that. Twitch knew about this and didn't say anything, do anything.
Or do anything. Nope.
Twitch is not the right person in this either. People even knew this. Potentially, I'll say right now, potentially this could be going on right now at Twitch, and they're still not saying anything. They're not doing it for the good intentions. They're doing it because they didn't like this guy. That makes it even worse. That means you're not even doing it for the victim itself. That's awful. That's actually terrible. Twitch is a garbage platform. I don't know why people even come close to simping for that piece of shit you call a platform. The people on there knew this happened and went, you know what? I'm only going to do this because I'm going to get this guy. Not because I actually care about the victim itself. That's awful.
Yep.
Their intentions aren't good either. Also, Twitch should definitely, if they know this is a problem, increase their age limit. No one under basically 16 is like legal in most places. All right, just make it 16 then. 16 and up. You got to have an account to be on there or whatever. Find out. And Gray even said, people lie. They need to have, they have to invest in better infrastructure to figure that out. Twitch CEO said, they're not profitable. They ain't making no money like that. They're basically breaking even every year, so they can't do that. Oh, but wait, this company was spending millions of dollars on Pokemon for her to stream exclusively on their platform. This company's a piece of shit. This company's terrible. People who work for it are also pieces of shit. This isn't even for the person. You're just doing this. You don't like someone because he's more popular than you. And Twitch also,
or it's something you don't agree with.
Right. And then they also could get in trouble in the law because you're monitoring someone's private messages. Now, on that one, let's be honest here. All our messages are monitored. Let's just be honest here. That's not just a Twitch thing. Doesn't make it right. No, but that just happens, obviously. The whispers in question were actually from many, many weeks prior to his last stream. The initial explanation provided to him during the termination communication was inappropriate behavior not befitting of the Twitch brand. He's right in what he said at the time to off his go live on YouTube. of we still don't know. I told you guys that. Because of a long time, Twitch could not commit to an explanation over and above the inappropriate behavior not benefiting of the Twitch brand until the matter went to court. The matter went to court, and it was found in discovery that not only did a group of Twitch employees conspire to get him, but they also broke data protection, internal policy, and CCPA regulations by disclosing to a third party who he also had a contract with what they perceived to have happened. That probably was, people were having those streamer wars. They're bidding for people. That's probably what they mean by that. Yeah. Internally, the argument on their side became, why else would he be messaging someone that young, implying only a sinister perspective? From the avoidance of doubt, there was no sexting, as implied by a former Twitch employee. There were messages, but not of that nature. The issue with that right there, he didn't sext the person. That's good. He didn't do that. That'd have been mega criminal.
Yeah.
One of their employees last year went, "Hey, I'll tell you the real reason he got banned if you can buy tickets to my concert." Yep. The matter of
MSK chased another one away.
Hell yeah. Okay. Dr. Disrespect was the one who initiated legal proceedings and settled. Dr. Disrespect was the one who initiated legal proceedings and settled because of the fact that once something like this is said about someone, it cannot be unsaid. And there would always be some, perhaps not fans, who would say, well, there's no smoke without fire. We've seen many people accused of things that turn out to not be true in the past. But by that time, the damage was done. He agreed to the no party admits any wrongdoing joint statement purely because he, understandably, wanted all this kept quiet. The fact that a former Twitch staff member has now made this tweet has changed things considerably. It's out there now and can't be walked back. Dr. Disrespect is furious that he cannot respond to this properly because his lawyers are telling him that it'll make the agreement invalid and he may be forced to pay back the settlement that he won. I'll say that again, that he won. There will be legal avenues explored on this one, and it will likely ultimately manifest itself in a huge damage claim against Twitch for this coming out. It's clear in the industry that there were absolutely raging when he reappeared on YouTube and came back bigger than ever. When he publicly backed Nick Merckx recently, the same group of current and ex-Twitch employees tried to identify if their compromise separation agreements from Twitch would be nullified if they spoke out, and only one had the guts to try and after the testing the waters numerous times before to sell out concert tickets. Yeah. One of the employees only offered it because they're fucking trying to get tickets sold for a concert. So beyond disgusting, man. This person would have largely been fined legally if he had not mentioned the word sexting. Yeah, now that person's probably going to get sued. So good luck with that. Because it was all about damaging Dr. Disrespect's reputation. But because they used that word, expect legal proceedings to get underway quickly. Because the transcripts will absolutely categorically show that there was no sexting, but merely communications with someone who turned out to be a minor. That was not known at that time, that certain people within Twitch who had an agenda against Dr. Disrespect pounced and made it to fit their agenda with zero proof. I am a former Twitch employee. I now work elsewhere. I will not be identifying myself, and I will not answer any questions about who I am. However, I will answer some in relation to this case, as I was very close to this at the time. He deserves the right to have some transparency, but he's tied legally in what he can say until the new proceedings progress. He has the right to some of the story being out there, even if he can't be the one to say if so. I am sending this as an independent party who is fully aware of the facts and feel very uncomfortable with what I've seen thrown at him in the past few days based on the agenda of a small group of people who did not like him. You should ask yourself,
okay.
Why are some... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
One question. So I know you're almost done with this. Sorry for interrupting, but
that's fine. Go ahead.
If this guy is correct and like this person is telling the truth, this anonymous person, why the fuck would the company that he co-founded be like, well, we've seen enough? You know, the fact that he's just messaging this 17-year-old on how to grow a channel. Like, well, I don't know, man. Like, it seems weird. And then his statement saying, I talked with the company that I co-founded and we agreed I should leave for messaging a 17-year-old about growing a channel.
It could be something as simple as just wanting to move past it.
Yeah, and also to some degree, like they're still a relatively small company, and they are trying to get themselves up there. They might be looking for investors. They might be thinking of going public. There's a lot of other options that could be going on, which even if he's completely innocent of everything, if he was freaking immaculate, people going after him could destroy their chance of getting investors and funds and stuff. And people just like, all right, there's so many things out there that you can invest in right now. Like I was a friend of mine's father is an angel investor, and he was like just talking about all this shit. Like there's so many things that you can invest in right now. Anything that seems to have an edge of conspiracy or
would he be completely turned off though if there was a case and it's basically settled and it's like, yeah, no, these people were actually doing the wrong to him, and they saw this thing that was completely innocent and tried to make it seem like it was something horrible? I don't know. It feels like the company would back him on that, but maybe I'm totally wrong.
Well, here, the thing is, like said, the messages happened, but the problem here with them is that he himself admitted they leaned inappropriate. So they might have been innocent at first, but later on they did get it inappropriate, as he mentioned.
Right. But like Tiny said, they're a small company. They possibly decided that they're not big enough or financially stable enough to deal with something like this.
Yeah.
And Chloe actually said something that's good as well. It's a game of hot potato, pure hot potato. Yep. And they probably came to, I mean, again, if there's no just based on what we know now, it's probably the fact that they were like, look, we want to get this game out. We don't have the time or effort to fight
this battle,
right?
But isn't the consensus that this game is tanked now? Like, he was the only one who was advertising it, and they put everything into him advertising this.
I don't know nothing about any of his stuff, so I have no idea. But like, there's many people I know personally who've lost jobs based on an accusation, and before it got out to the public, it was proven internally that it was false. But just to distance themselves from the situation, they got rid of the person.
But with their statement, they looked into everything. So they would have had supposedly like the court records or whatever, and he would have been able to prove like, hey, it actually shows that these guys were in the wrong, and they're admitting that I did nothing that even comes close to I forget what they said in here, but
yeah.
He said something about like the Twitch admitted that it doesn't come anywhere close to sexting her or whatever.
Their comment just made things worse. I mean, it made it more confusing. Yeah, that's all it did.
It really did. But I would hope that, you know, a company that I co-founded would be like, yeah, that thing that happened years before you co-founded this, that you've settled in court. Yeah, it's good.
Public perception. That's all it is too. Because when this happens and people see that he's aligned with them, you know, it's just. Public perception now, when it comes to like social media, is a really big thing for people. They want to be perceived like they're just untouchable, the good guy and everything. And just looking at it now, they wanted to kind of cut him out. And it's like, how can you really blame them? You know, it's not like they did anything wrong, but he did say that things went a little too far sometimes, you know? Like that's
we don't know what
weird...
that means. We have no idea what that means. Maybe that meant he was saying, I think that you're hot. Or maybe he said that I'd like to sleep with you. We don't know what it means by it went out.
Every statement that someone or company has put out concerning this has made the waters even more muddy than before.
Yeah, because the chat logs have not been revealed. And let's be honest, we're probably never seeing that. You know? All right. What's the
that will put it into it. That will put an end to it once and for all if they release chat logs.
You should also ask yourself, why are some of these people no longer at Twitch? Because they broke policy and in some cases the law by breaching data protection regulations. Many people were dealt with as a result of this and lost their jobs. That I remember, because around this time period, Twitch had laid off a lot of people. Must have been who they were, honestly. You have a duty to balance the reporting of this until such times as court proceedings provide the clarity you should have waited for, but didn't. He's been good to you all. He's not what is said and deserves better, especially considering he agreed to their behavior. He agreed for their behavior, not to be made public, as he wanted to protect the income streams of others. The Midnight Society piece is an example of a lot of people getting cold feet. They asked him about it, and he told them messages existed, but they weren't in the nature reported, but couldn't share them as a part of the settlement, and the decision was made to put out that statement in haste. That was an
but the statement says that they saw evidence, didn't it?
Yeah.
Tripping.
No. Their statement was, we assumed his innocence and we asked the parties involved and then came to a conclusion to let him go. That was what they said. Because I can show you that right now. What were they called?
Do they mean they just talked to Doc, or do they mean that they talked to this 17-year-old anonymous person?
And the reason why I'm showing it is because I want people to see their post. Yeah, and the reason why I'm showing people this is because I wanted to show their statement side of it. So here's what they said yesterday. On Friday evening, we became aware of an allegation against one of our co-founders, Guy BM, aka Dr. Disrespect. We assumed his innocence and began speaking with parties involved. And in order to maintain our principles and standards as a studio, individuals, we need to act. For this reason, we are terminating our relationship with Guy BM immediately. While these facts are difficult to hear and even more difficult to accept, it is our duty to act with dignity on behalf of all individuals involved, especially the 55 developers and families we have employed along with our community of players. So that's their statement.
Everything is muddying these waters, every statement.
You're totally right. I thought I remembered it saying something about evidence that they saw, but no, they just talked to the parties. So I don't know what that even means. Even that's like hazy. Does that just mean they talked to Guy Beam?
Well, no. What that means, what they said was they spoke to him, probably the accuser, the people who had the evidence, everybody involved. It seems like that's who they talked to. And in his statement, he says that that he spoke with them as well.
Ooh, well, this is a situation that came out of this. It's weird how the Nick Rekieta situation, people were like, show proof, innocent to proven guilty. And I told you right now, I don't mind that. It just, that was an easy one to tell that bad shit was going to happen out of that. This one, people were like, you know what? Innocent to proven guilty. And yeah, twice in a row, this did not pan out very well, you know? Yeah, and Tiny is right. Depending on what context the inappropriate messages were, what was said, it's kind of up to the individual to think about that. That's kind of like where the line is drawn, is when he mentioned that, things kind of got a little inappropriate.
Yeah.
That's the part, I think a lot of moralized, that's the part a lot of people are going to go, I don't know, that's, people have to draw that. I would say that's kind of sus.
I think we got some new evidence. Yeah. Got some new evidence. Nate has been suspiciously quiet. Mm-hmm. And Nate moved to the tiny house around the same time this is all coming out. So, maybe he knows something.
Pieces are coming together.
Maybe he knows something here.
What the hell? Oh my god!
Nah, it's just a really weird situation for me because he was someone I actually really enjoyed, you know, coming up, you know, through school and all that, and you know, just seeing him in this position. I mean, it fucking sucks, but at the same time, you know, it's one of those things. You know, just because I like you doesn't mean you're exempt from the law. You know, doesn't mean that, you know, you didn't fuck up to some capacity. I guess it just really depends, man. I mean, like I said, we don't know if he truly knew that she was underage. And, you know, if he did know she was underage when he said these things, that just makes him it just makes the whole situation even fucking worse. I mean, either way, it's a double-edged blade and it's wrong no matter what.
Yeah, and the thing here is like, yeah, I didn't send pictures, they didn't meet up or anything, but that reads along the lines of like, you know, I kind of probably did something kind of creepy, but I didn't really do anything to that further extent, so I'm not in trouble. It's like, well, yeah, I guess, but that's still weird. That's still very creepy, though.
Yeah, two wrongs don't make a right, buddy. And just because you sit there and write a 5-paragraph tweet talking about
paragraphs,
just because you sit there and write a 5-paragraph tweet about how sorry you are, doesn't mean you're off the hook, buddy. I mean,
does it change your mind that he kept thinking about it and changing it for hours?
Remember, it said minor, he said individual, and then now it says individual minor. The lawyers are probably like, man, stop touching your phone. just turn that shit off. God, yeah, and it's the editing part that makes it bad too, because putting in there a minor, it's like, oh wow, yeah.
I think he's trying to be honest without, whatever.
Why am I all of a sudden the target in the comments?
All right, so
just be quiet, man.
We'll get our.
They got bored of mocking MSK.
We'll get the closing thoughts on this out. I mean, this is. Yeah, it's whatever people want to do. You can draw the line in the sand wherever you want to. For me, that's really creepy. Just saying. But then again, there's the other side where it didn't go as explicit as most people thought, because the Twitch employee said it was sexting, and it's been proven it's not. It's factually proven that did not happen. So that's big. That's the big thing.
Is it
that's
though?
incriminating,
Like
actually.
the anonymous source said that, but
I'm out. It has not been proven to us because we still don't know what the chat logs say.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just we don't have the evidence yet.
Well, no, they went to court for it, and it was proven that he didn't do that. That's what the court case was.
Well, we don't.
I mean, but
we don't actually
but to be
know
fair,
that though. Like it's
but,
not.
Well, no,
it's not public.
it was,
like just that one person who's saying that they were a Twitch, former Twitch employee.
No, they had already went to court, and they said they found no wrongdoing. Even before this person came out, he had already had no wrongdoing.
Hold on. That's
but
a
then again,
statement right there. That's
that's the problem.
Like
I mean,
anything.
You know that OJ was found innocent too, right? Like
OJ was found
innocent. I'm just saying, like the evidence does need to actually be out there a little bit, before you make up your mind.
But I will say this: the reason why Twitch would settle out of court is because they knew if they went to court, their employees are doing some really illegal data breaking shit. You can't, they wouldn't want this out there either,
for sure.
You know, so
but this is around 2017 when this happened, right?
Yeah,
there was a fervor and there was a moment where it's like, believe anybody, just convict everybody. It was around the Weinstein thing. That's actually when the whole like Kevin Spacey thing went down too. I fully jumped on board with that. It's like, what the hell? Like you're doing this to a minor or whatever. And it turns out like he not only won like his criminal case in the US, he also won a criminal case in the UK, and he won a civil case where the original accuser, the guy that we all knew, the dude who was in Adventures in Babysitting.
You're talking about
that guy,
Spacey?
Yes. Yes, but it was his first accuser. That dude actually had to pay him from the civil trial. Yeah, I can't remember what the guy's name was, but he played the best friend in Adventures in Babysitting. I don't know. I used to watch that all the time when I was a kid.
No, I'm just saying. I didn't know we were talking about Spacey instead.
I was trying to make a point by bringing in this completely other thing. That was also an accusation from 2017, and I don't know that it necessarily happened how they said it happened. Like, again, I don't think Spacey's a great guy, but when you look at that actual case, they were able to bring a whole bunch of evidence that like this dude's accusation actually almost matches perfectly this movie that he was in. And in the civil case, the accuser actually had to pay Spacey. So I don't know. I would just caution everybody before you completely decide on what it is. Just wait till the evidence comes out. We don't really know. There's a whole bunch of people speculating a whole bunch of things in the last few days. I don't know. The most that you can see is he's saying that these conversations went inappropriate at times. That's a little sus, Don't do that with minors. But again, if that other statement is correct, apparently he didn't know the age at the time. But I don't know if that's correct. Just hopefully some actual evidence will come out and not just more kind of accusations. But
because the thing I want to bring up to here is if nothing inappropriate happened, essentially he could just fuck Twitch over, right? Him admitting that it got to that point, and as Tiny mentioned, we don't know the level of what inappropriate that even is. That's the sus part.
Right?
Twitch wouldn't want this out there because they wouldn't want to have like their biggest streamer having an accusation of messaging a minor. But we know that the reason why they would do that is because they don't like him. They're not doing it because they actually cared about the person that was the victim. Yeah, and you said it's true too. It's like we've had so many come out, and there's been so many situations where like people say X thing, it's proven that they didn't do anything, and the damage is done based off their public image. But for him, the only last piece of evidence that we're probably never going to get is those chat logs. That's the problem. Without those, you can't determine the inappropriate nature of them.
I'm pretty sure if they exist out there, that they'll get leaked somehow. I mean,
they will. That's just how. Eventually, will.
That's just how it goes.
Well, we'll start with Nate. We'll go around for our closing thoughts on this. Nate, what is your closing thoughts on Dr. Disabled?
Are we talking about Ricky again? No, fucking
Ricky's bait.
Ricky is the GOAT. Don't hate Ricky. Yeah, like I said earlier, it's just a very sad situation because, like I said, I used to really like this guy as a streamer. I mean, a couple years ago, kind of fell off on watching him. I mean, But like I said, if all of this is really true, man, you know, it really sucks. It's another person I really looked up to fall into a pit of bullshit that they probably, you know, should have had the common sense to not fall into in the first fucking place. You know, I really hope that, you know, this gets resolved, and, you know, I hope the truth comes out, you know, whether it's good or bad, you know.
Yeah. And I always say this, anyone, ask the person's age. You know, you grow up and people ask the age. I always ask age. Even if it comes out of a lot, well, at least you know you did it. Just saying. Tiny, what are your closing thoughts on this?
Well, I agree with everybody that we won't ever really know unless the transcripts are made public. But from my own experience of my own life, granted, I'm 40, so
back in the day.
But when I was in my mid to late teens, I had plenty of conversations that I probably should not have had, and some were with people who understood that they probably shouldn't be having them, and some of them were not. So if there's no pictures, there's no meeting, there's no nothing like that, until someone shows me otherwise, my attitude is whatever. I don't care. I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's anything to be had by hassling him about it or by being obsessed with it. It feels like I know this is a big deal. I know his livelihood, he's no longer part of the company he was in, but this feels like fucking high school to me in a way. We don't like you, so we're gonna fucking write that you're a slut on the bathroom door. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it was a fucking conversation. If it only happened a couple times and it never went any farther, I don't understand why I don't personally. I don't get it.
This reminds me of the Ed Piscor situation. And in that state, it's not illegal to message someone that's underage. For them, it's like it's under 16. That girl was 17. And in that state, you can't get in trouble for that. And the ladies in the comic book Whisper never blew that out till he was sexting a minor or something, and he just, click, things I can't say right now. Just saying, people, right when you say that about anybody, it just trickles into that person is that, and they can't have it unsaid. That's why nobody wanted that out there, because then now you have your situation, how I think about it. And, it's just so much, as Darnell said, it's about as muddy water as my bathtub gets, when my feet go in there, just dark. All right, Ketchup Man, what are your closing thoughts on this?
Ketchup Man?
Yeah. I've got a couple different thoughts. Like Nate said, so I was never a huge fan of him, but I had a guitarist who was just so into this dude, and that would have been back 2016, somewhere around there. So I don't know. I was always kind of familiar with him. I thought the dude was funny. I just wasn't super into the games that he was playing.
He was hilarious. especially when he raged the fuck out.
For sure. So every time I'd go over there, he would usually be showing me some clips and stuff, and I was like, okay, I like this guy. And then I heard a few years ago, his whole infidelity thing, which granted has nothing to do with this, but I think that would have been around the same time. Maybe that was 2018 or something. But I think he's a different guy than he was at this time. It seems like this has already been adjudicated in some sort of court. It seems like it was found that there's no criminal shit here. I don't know. I guess I would hope if I co-founded a business, they would stand by me and hear me out. But I don't know. I guess PR is everything. I just caution everyone from jumping to conclusions. There's no actual evidence here. There's just a bunch of I don't know, accusations going around, except for his admission that yes, it got inappropriate. I don't know what the hell that means, but
it could mean a million different things. Like I said,
exactly.
Chat logs, until we actually see the chat logs and what was fucking said, we're not gonna know.
All right.
Yeah. They might be released. Who knows? There's a bunch of people claiming that they have so much information. I don't know if it's just the accusations that we've heard or what, but I'm totally not saying don't condemn this dude. If everything that they're saying is true and it's even worse than he made it out, if what he's saying is the nice version, for sure, bring justice to this guy. But just have some caution. I know I jumped on board the bandwagon more times than I probably should have. Again, I don't think that Spacey is a great guy, but it doesn't sound like he did the things that he was accused of in 2017. Yeah. And I know I was fully on like, this guy sucks. Like, screw this. I can't see another movie with him in it and not think about that. But I don't know. It sounds like the doc saying he's not done. So I hope he clears his head a lot on this extended vacation. But we'll see. He's come back from some pretty big situations and bands before. So I don't know. If anyone can come back, I think he could. So,
all right. Darnell, what are your closing thoughts on this one?
1 second. I mean, yeah, like everyone said, we need to know what happened. People aren't gonna wait. They've made their
everyone's made their decisions already. Yeah.
Everyone is, well, I say everyone. Majority of people have made their decision. Mm-hmm. I can attest that anytime when students of mine found out I have played video games or was into the same things they were on the internet, cartoons, whatever, they always tried to contact me and talk to me, even though I knew it wasn't going to go anywhere past, like, hey, you're a cool kid, I'm a cool dude, we're playing video games. No. Will not have interaction with you outside of school. It's just, sorry.
Yeah.
He should not have done. He should have let someone else handle. Because didn't he? In that big thing you read, let's say it was like some service his company was offering or something. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He should let someone else do it or done it.
Why is someone that young, even if she was 17, why is someone that young doing that, even having those communications with people? That's already putting that person in a very weird spot too.
Well, I mean, if they were trying to, I mean, at the time, everyone and their mom was trying to be a streamer. And I get it. They were looking for advice.
I mean, everybody and their mom is still trying to be a streamer.
Right. So. But like the year before, I was asking a few guys I watched, hey, what did you do in the beginning and stuff like that. But he should have either done it publicly or in a different way that was not so I'm not gonna say, I don't want to say
direct.
Private. No, not really direct, but like a way that didn't have other eyes on it at the same time. Like it should have been done in a chat, or it should have been done in like a, hey, we offer this, we'll do it in a Zoom call with like multiple people watching.
Yeah,
it was just a bunch of bad choices made all around. Not knocking the guy. I personally don't like his type of gameplay and the way he acts, but that doesn't mean I want to see the guy, go down.
But. Yeah, for me, I guess my closing thoughts on this, there's one thing I'll put out there. We're a bunch of like lettuce, bacon, tomato people, and that group are full of degenerate weirdos. We're like, well, when someone on their side gets ousted as a P word, first of all, they were trying to make it like, no, a lot of people were like, dude, that sound what we just read sounds sus as fuck. Most people went like, bro, that's really sus. That's creepy. That looks like grooming. I don't want to hear any lip from these weird degenerate bacon people when these people are literally dancing naked in front of kids. You're the last people to be talking about people being creepy. I'm just saying, people are weird and they're around kids and doing really inappropriate things. Nobody from that group should be saying anything. Just saying. There's a bunch of them because we know, based on what Nick Merckx said yesterday, because he was like backing Doc and everything, that they didn't like Nick Merckx because he called out that one weirdo that's Mr. Beast's friend or whatever. It's just a bunch of bullshit. That group, I for sure should not be talking shit about inappropriate things and morality of people. These people are literally having drag shows butt naked in front of kids. Bruh, come on.
I mean, didn't the trans guy post a picture of his son wearing
the heels? And he said, I remember the kid's name. I really don't. And I'm not saying it here. Good thing I don't remember. He said, my kid woke up and chose to slay today, wearing high heels. Like, bro, the last people I'm taking morality fucking advice from is weirdos like that, degenerate fucking creeps, But my thing here is that statement's really sus from him. I will say that. But hey, I'm glad he didn't like send any pictures or any of that stuff. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. But that's just a really weird situation. This is what I'll say to anybody. Always ask someone the age. Even if that person lied, at least we know that you intentionally did try to understand what the person's age was, right? Always ask people's age. Always do that. So, yeah, more about this potential. I guess the situation is over. I guess people can just make up their minds however they want to, you know? So, yeah. Fucking hell. What a world we live in. Fuck Twitch. Fuck that bacon community of degenerate weirdos. And yeah, disrespect, that's just creepy. You just don't do that, you know? If people call you a certain thing because of that, hey, I'm just saying, there's no admission he said it was inappropriate, and then when he says that, people can just think of whatever at that point, because when people think of inappropriate, their minds just teeter in any place possible, you know? Especially when you use the word minor. That already is just a bunch of red alarms going off. So, yeah, thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below. Hit the notification bell. And make sure you guys realize I'm a hot, sexy dude. Just kidding. I have to entertain you guys. You know, hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. MSK, aka Master Swag King. I'm signing out, guys.